Hello, AP students. This is Mrs. Politsky, and I have notes for Chapter 13. We're going to talk a little bit about cognitive behavior therapy. So, a synthesis of cognitive behavior therapy. This is a newer form of psychotherapy that combines the techniques of cognitive therapy and those of behavior therapy. This dual approach assumes that an irrational self-statement often underlines the maladaptive behavior. These irrational self-statements must be changed or replaced with rational constructive coping statements before the unacceptable behavior can be modified. The therapist and the client work together to modify irrational self-talk and set attainable behavioral goals, develop realistic strategies for attaining them, and evaluate the results. So an example of this would be rational emotive behavioral therapy, kind of the shoulds and oughts. So rational emotive behavior therapy, or REBT, was developed by Albert Ellis. It's a brand of cognitive therapy based on the idea that irrational thoughts and behaviors are causes of mental disorder. According to Ellis, the maladjusted individual base their lives on a set of unrealistic values and unachievable goals. These neurotic goals, neurotic meaning anything that kind of makes somebody act nervous, and values that lead people to hold unrealistic expectations that they should always succeed, that they should always receive approval, that they should always be treated fairly, and that their experiences should always be pleasant. Changing the brain by changing the mind. Research now shows that cognitive behavior therapy may not only help people change their minds, but it also may change the brain itself. Patients who suffer from obsessions about whether they had turned off the stove or locked their doors were given cognitive behavioral modification. When they felt the urge to run home and check on themselves, they were trained to relabel the experience as an obsession or a compulsion. Eventually, PET scans of the brain of certain subjects who were trained in this techniques indicated that over time, part of the brain responsible for the nagging fear or the urge gradually became less active. Thank you very much.